All right, Wednesday Warfare. It's about 8 o'clock. Starting off on the dead end of Walnut Avenue. Got a couple of people here walking their wolf dogs. A little mini gangster. And here we are, Santiago Creek Trail. So today, we're going to just do the old school classic route, Santiago Creek Trail to Main Street. We go through some downtown Santa Ana. So, we're filming, if you're new to the channel, the camera I use is a DJI Action 4. I wish I had the 5, but the 4 has seemed to, performance is excellent. I give it 5 stars. We're only using 2K right now and 60 frames. One of my subscribers appreciates the 60 frames, so we'll keep it at that. And since we're going to take a little bit longer, possibly, on this ride, I think when if I'm doing 4K 60 frames, I think I only get about 58 minutes. So just in case it takes a little longer, we'll go 2K, which I don't think that's going to make any difference to anyone. I don't think, yeah, it doesn't really make a difference. But the 60 frames definitely does. Stop on this little platform right here. Hopefully there's nothing else. Check out. Get my pockets situated. Give everybody a nice view of this beautiful creek. I don't know if you can even see the creek. There's a giant bird down there. Oh yeah. What's up? Good morning. They know me around these parts. So I need to get good enough where I could ride this curb right here all the way. I bet you I could do it. Once I start getting bikes, I'll be doing a lot more trickery. But right now, I just have to, like more off-road stuff, more obstacles. Maybe start, morning. Maybe start like a new kind of street style type of e-biking where we do different obstacles and tricks and stuff. Like a street skating version of e-biking or BMXing. So mission. Yeah. Pumped up. look, he's got a mini wolf pub. Morning. Morning, Terry. Ken. That was Ken. Squirrels are defrosting up on the banks. The cars are breaking free of the gridlock on the 55 freeway. The birds are talking pedos, or no, not pedos, papas, farts, to the squirrels. I didn't see that person. Hill climb. I think this is about the speed I ride my gravel bike to work. Probably around right here. Those videos were good, man. Like, I love the gravel bike videos. There's a few of them that have several thousand views. Maybe when the weather cools off a little bit, we'll start riding again. Like I've said, I need to take it to the bike shop and have the rim straightened out, the back rim. It was really weird how the rim bent. I just did a simple maneuver from out of the street onto the sidewalk, and I guess like I turned so sharp that it bent the rim. But it had to have been that, you know, it wasn't like there was loose spokes or something else. I don't have any experience in tightening spokes and truing wheels or anything like that. It's way beyond my capability or beyond anything I'd ever want to learn how to do. Interesting. On your left, right, left. So today the kids are back in school. So there's a certain amount of security that I feel when I know my kids are home. When they're home with mom and I know they're not doing much but hanging around the house or going out to the pool, I feel very secure within myself. But when they go back to school, there's a whole different feeling of probably not anxiousness, just I guess worry, like a subtle continuous worry. I know school can be challenging. It's exciting for them too, though. So I mean, they say how much they hate school, but I know they probably, something inside of themselves, I think they actually really enjoy it. I mean, I don't recall if I liked school or not. I know when I got the opportunity, when I got older, I started skipping school, ditching, like my senior year. Which is terrible, but that's what everybody in my neighborhood was doing. So it's just another derelict student. I got good grades though. Stayed out of trouble for the most part besides that. Then I decided I didn't want to go at all when I turned 18, so I quit and went to adult school to get my diploma. So I turned 18 in January of my senior year, and that day, once I was 18, I was like, I'm not going to school anymore. Going to adult school, so that's what I did. So I do have an adult school diploma. And this lady's managing to take up the whole lane, both lanes. All right, which way do we want to go? Let's just go up this way, I guess. But I think, something within my kids really enjoy that construct of school. I just really wish they do good. They get good grades. My middle son's in the GATE program, and they're both on the honor roll. My daughter obviously is super smart, but I wish that, and it's just, I can't, convey enough to them like how important it is to really embrace school, and how important it is. It really is. I wish somebody would have pushed me back when I was in high school. I mean, I managed to do well professionally, but I would be a lot further if I had pursued a degree of some sort. I could have been an engineer. That's who I work with right now. That's like, my peers are all engineers. But the main thing though isn't necessarily that. It's that finding, I don't even know about college. Of course I want them to go to college, but more than that, I want them to really immerse themselves into every single subject and figure out like what makes them what makes them happy. Yeah, you got it, buddy. What makes them what stirs up, what evokes, like what inspires them. What subject matter really clicks with them. Because I want, more important than anything, I want them to see school as an opportunity to discover what they want to do with their lives. Because I definitely have the belief if you know what you have, if you have a passion for something specific and you can make money doing that, you're successful. That's it. It doesn't even really matter, the money that you make. If you can make a living for yourself doing something you love, then that's it. That's the key. I'm just, I don't hate my job. but I feel like I could be happier doing something else. Like being a full-time YouTuber. That would be the dream. That's why I hope, somehow I find inspiration in this to where I can supplement my income someday substantially. So that would help immensely. My wife seems to think that the subscription route is the way to go with the YouTube thing, but like for an e-bike channel, I don't think I don't think making videos and then having them for subscribers only for an e-bike channel is the way to go. I can see that with like, some of these self-help, channels, or, where you're really teaching people things, but having an entertainment, like this is considered entertainment, that you have to pay for. I just, from the people that are already supporting you by watching your video, like, I don't feel like that's the right route. I feel like if people wanted to support the channel, like, monetarily, like, they just do, super thanks in the comments, or I have like the buy me a coffee links and Venmo and Cash App. Like, I've had people do that, like voluntarily, and that's, I don't really push it. It's always super helpful, and inspiring, but the subscriptions, like, I don't know, it's just not that type of content. Like I would put out my regular videos and then have extra videos, which I've tried, and I just can't bring myself to it. I can't bring myself, my seat just broke. I can't bring myself to publish a video and not think that everybody's gonna be able to watch it. It bugs me. Alright, so the seat, I don't know if you can see it, the seat just came totally loose. Alright. So I think getting the views and making money on AdSense. So right now the channel is only making, I'll be making like probably $40 to $50 a month. So I have the $100 threshold that I make. It's gonna take probably two months to get that $100, maybe 2.5 months, which is cool. But I think to actually to be able to subsidize my income, where I'm making like $500 every month, that would be key. That would be excellent. Let's set the right size. This is a 5. Oops. Got the wrong one here. Oh my God, it broke. It broke. This bolt broke, and it's a weird thread. Wow, this is going to be hard to fix. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not too sure how to do this here. Guess we're gonna have to. Yeah, that's kind of sucks. Well, that just is what it is. We're gonna have to stand up the whole way and figure out how to fix it at work. So this is totally stripped out right here. So I'll have to come up with a clever way to fix it. I already know what I'll use. I have some threaded inserts at work. So it has like a really coarse outside diameter, and I'll tap it, put the insert in, and then get another bolt. Where did I put my other wrench? We got a long ways to go with no seat, y'all. Let's see how far, can I sit that far back on this thing? Morning. All right, here we go. How far back can I sit? Oh, I can sit like this. So that's not going to make the video look... Oh my God, dude. That's not that bad. All right. Well, we have a plan now. Okay. Well... So this will be interesting. So what sucks is I can sit down, but then the footage is going to look really bad. All right. Well, at least we have something unique for the content. It's not going to be repetitive. Okay, we got to climb up this embankment here. So what I'm gonna have to do is just stand up, and then periodically I'll sit down in lowrider mode. I mean, we've only gone I don't know how many miles we've gone. 2.5. I can't see. It says 4 miles? No. 4 miles. right? Anyway, we have probably another 8 to go. So I can kind of rest like this. It's just the way it goes, bros. This is totally doable, but for the video, that's not gonna work. My big old nod guys took out my seat. Let's see what it's like cruising on the sidewalk in the lowrider mode. I gotta be careful, I don't freaking... Oh yeah, it's good for a little rest. I like being this low. It's actually really neat. This is what it's like on the Mini Go. Except for there's not big old handlebars in the way. Quite the spectacle cruising through Santa Ana. Hopefully I don't mess up my right crank. That's the biggest thing. So the left crank is steel. So I already stripped it out. I stripped out the left one from standing up on the pedals. These pedals just can't withstand that. I've got my Vans on right now. My Vans are like being barefoot, so it makes it really tough to stand on the pedals like that. I had my seat break, I don't know when it was. I had my seat, this is the second time I've broken my seat. It's hot too. Dollar Tree's in full effect, dude. Trees through here. Full effect, y'all. This is the spot right here, y'all. What's up? What's up? A bunch of water. I hear a siren. Oh, it was a dog. The dog almost sounded like a blurb, like a police blurb. Oh, look at, there's a chair. We put that nasty chair on my seat post. Should just give the seat to one of my guys. So here, can you fix this for me? It's your assignment for the day. We got the police right here. Now we'll find out if we're allowed to be on the sidewalk or not. No issues, bros. I told y'all. But you don't listen. Yo. The DUI enforcement zone right here, it says. There's my dream car, white Volkswagen. Yeah, this hurts so bad. This hurts my feet so bad, man. Oh. Just take a seat. Focus all my weight on the metal pedal. I can't. We need a break. Oh. Man. Sucks. I should make some. Well, this isn't going to happen often enough. I should make some kind of a backup plan for when this happens. So I have another seat and a seat post, but it's not. The seat post for the electric is different. It's a different size. It's a blind corner right there. I can't remember if it's bigger or smaller or what. This guy's got himself a burrito. Oh yeah. Stoked. So I think the biggest challenge for me is going to be getting over the, oh my God, dude, this hurts. Is getting over the 405 freeway. So try this one time, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Try standing on your pedals and riding as far as you can. I think if you have the right shoes, it's probably not so bad. It just looks really ridiculous. Guy ain't got no seat on this bike. Ooh, I seen a nail. Oh my God, my phone's ringing. That could only be my wife. Yep. Hello? Wait just a second. Hello?
There's a baby bird on our walkway that won't fly, and it's just in our pathway, and I know JoJo's gonna come eat it. So where can I put it where I could just keep it so JoJo doesn't eat it?
Yeah, do you have a box? Yeah, put it in a box and put it in the garage.
A shoebox. Okay, a shoebox in the garage. That's a good idea. All right, thanks.
Okay,
Bye.
all right, bye. There's a baby bird on the walkway of our house, and we've got this alley cat that kicks it at our house. His name's, the kids named him JoJo. What's a her? Named her JoJo. And JoJo is going to be coming by anytime. And they're afraid that the JoJo is going to come and eat the baby bird. So they're trying to figure out what to do with the baby bird. So they'll have to put it in a little box and put it in the garage, I guess. I don't know. I don't think the bird's gonna make it if it's that small without a mama. I don't know what you would feed like a little baby bird like that to keep it going. Worms? Got to go buy some fishing worms. And then don't you have to doesn't the mama chew up the food for them? I'm glad it was that, my God. I get panicked every time I get a phone call from the wife or kids. I always think something's wrong. Oh, you're okay. It's a sidewalk, not a bike lane. So what would you do if you had 10 more miles to go and your seat broke? Would you do what I'm doing, or would you turn around and go back to your house and take your car? That was my choice. It's definitely hot already. So we're supposed to have a heat wave this week. So far it has not been very hot. Look at the burn. I think like knowing that I can fix it at work is like probably the deciding factor. Like in order for me to fix it, I gotta get it to work. So maybe I'll just give it to our fabricator and see if he can fix it for me. So I don't know if I mentioned what time it was. I apologize for that. So I left at 8. Now I have a book presentation to do today at 10. So it's for this book, one of the books that we're reading. It's called The Way of the Shepherd. It's it has good information on it, but it's pretty corny. So it's this student who is finishing his last year in college or whatever, and has gained this relationship with one of the professors. And so he's talking to he already landed a job of where he's going to start out as a supervisor. So he's meeting with this professor on the weekends, on Saturdays, for the professor to give him advice on how to, approach his new job. So it's, I don't know. I mean, anything like with the shepherd and stuff, it's like I totally associate with Christianity, which is fine, but it just reminds me of, I went to a Christian school for 8 years, so it kind of reminds me of that. So that kind of, just that word kind of bothers me a little bit, but it's good information. So I have to pick an aha, what they call an aha moment from the book, and expound upon that in front of the class. I don't know how many students. Sometimes in front of managers and middle management. Sometimes they're there. My boss might be there. So I got to talk about this book. Then I have a group that I go up there with. I'm not too sure why they have us go up as groups, because we don't. We correspond. We choose what we're gonna do. But we each just have to pick our own personal aha moment and then go up there together. I guess it's good for the support. So I have 3 people in my group. One guy's not going to be there. He's never there. And then 2 other girls. So one of them is going to do the intro. And then we'll each just share. We didn't organize it at all. The first time I did a book presentation, I met with the people that I was doing the presentation with, and we set it all up. So I just made my aha moment from the last chapter I read in the book, called the rod of correction. I already wrote it. I just need to read it and decide whether I can just speak off the top of my head, or if I'm just gonna read it. I think I can probably, if I read it like 2 more times, I can probably, I don't know how many, like how big it is. It's, I don't know, about 3/4 of a Word document. It's about that big with normal font, single spacing. But it's a real, it's the aha moment is real. It's not just something I made up, so that makes it easier to talk about. So I chose that chapter, the rod of correction. So in the story, they have there's a rod that a shepherd carries. So typically it's going to be like a trunk of a small tree that's got, like, they pull it out from the ground. So on the end of it, it has a really hardcore, big, heavy knot. So it's like heavy on one end, you know, like a heavy ball. And they use that stick for a few different things. So if a sheep is far away and it's trying to get away, or it's wandering off, not trying to get away, but just kind of wandering off from the flock, they actually throw it. These guys, the shepherds, are so proficient at wielding this rod of correction. They can throw it and thwap the sheep in the side, and which causes them to go back to the herd. But then you can also use it to, it's symbolic, right? But you can also use it to correct your team, you know, if they're doing something they shouldn't be doing. So I guess that was my aha moment. So I really don't have a lot of direct reports, but right now they're direct reports just because I'm kind of putting up the framework for the team. And so 2 of the guys, so there's 8 people total, 7 people total now. One guy quit. So 7 people, 7 mechanics. And 2 of them I've worked with for a long time. I was their supervisor once before, and I've just worked with them for, you know, one of them for like 12 years at least, maybe more. And then the other guys, the guy that comes and rescues me all the time when my bike messes up. So it's not, the aha moment would be that when I was reading that chapter, it's like I never really think about having to, you know, if somebody does something, you know, and they're out of line, like how am I going to correct that, you know what I mean? And that's gonna, inevitably that's gonna come up. So, you know, and you're basically friends with these people. You're working on tending to your flock, so you're working on building this relationship with your team, and then they're doing something out of line and you've got to correct them. So like, how do you do that? You know, how do you use that rod of correction? So the aha moment was realizing, like, oh man, I need to come up with a plan on how I can approach those situations. So in the past, I always had, like I said, I was supervisor for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, maybe, you know, so 3 years ago, I had been a supervisor for, like 5 or 6 years, something like that. And we had a strong team, but I did have one person that I had to deal with, so that's what I'm going to talk about. So back then, I didn't have any kind of training when it came to management. I was just kind of thrown into the fire, and was fortunate enough to have good employees that didn't give me a hard time. But I did have one that was pretty challenging, and this guy was a good mechanic and had probably the most legit experience of anybody on the team. But like everything I would ask him to do, he just wouldn't do it. He'd go, oh, okay, yeah, sorry, I'm gonna get that done, and then he just wouldn't do it. I would give him deadlines and he just wouldn't do it. And then he started just like randomly leaving, and like without saying anything, and he'd be gone and he'd come back, and like I gave everybody a lot of freedom, and he was basically just taking advantage of it. So I told my manager, I'm like, I gotta do something about this guy. Like, he's just totally just not doing what I asked. And yeah, he wasn't defiant. He was just said he would do it, and then he wouldn't do it. So instead of coming up with a constructive way to steer him in the right direction, instead of wielding the rod of correction, ultimately what I would do is I just stopped giving him stuff to do. I just basically I just started giving his work to other people or doing it myself, and then which ended up basically making him feel ostracized. And then, you gonna stop, buddy? And then what ended up happening is COVID came around. So when COVID came around, they let a lot of people go. I was the only one that, out of the whole maintenance team and engineering and production, that stayed. So they basically just stopped production entirely. But they needed one person to stay at work, and they picked me. So I just stayed and did what I could do while the COVID thing played out. So they let this guy go, obviously, everybody. And so then I ended up just not inviting him back to work with us once the COVID thing resolved itself. So that was an easy way to take care of it. But that's just not the way, that's not the right way to handle somebody, you know? Like, it's actually not, even though they're the person that's causing the problems, like, it's your job to try to figure out how to help them out, how, you know, give them that structure and that opportunity to correct whatever it is they're going through that's causing them to be shitty. So, yeah, so you have to have those crucial conversations. Yeah, and it seems like that's probably what I was afraid to do, is to have that crucial, like, set up a meeting with them, objectively outline the problems, and then outline a recovery plan and define expectations, emphasize like dates, timelines, and then make them aware of the consequences if those aren't met. And then that's how you would do it. calves, and the arch of my foot are just agonizing right now. I have to go down into lowrider mode in a second. Yeah, going over the 405, that's gonna suck. Got a Black Hawk coming into we have a couple of Black Hawks that have been flying over my house for probably the last 4 or 5 years. I'm not too sure where they're going. But watching all this UFO stuff, I'm like suspicious of everything like that. They're black, all black, no, like a matte black with no, numbers or symbols or anything on them. Black Ops. So there's a good podcast yesterday with, I watched this channel called Leto Files. That's Lehto, Chris Leto, who is a retired F-16 pilot, and he had Gary Nolan, Dr. Gary Nolan and Dr. Diana Pasupa on this podcast for a nice, interesting conversation. So they went with, she wrote this book called American Cosmic, which she was doing she was writing a book on, she wasn't into the UFO thing at all. That was like the furthest thing from her mind. But she was going to be writing a book on ascension. So historical, so she's a professor of religious studies. I forget which school, but she has written several books. But this American Cosmic was about her going and studying different accounts from history of ascension. So ascension being when, I might have talked about this already, but I can repeat myself. So biblical or not, but just when people, mostly geared around history and religion. So you have these stories in the Bible where an angel came down and takes an individual up with them into the heavens. Any kind of encounter like that is what she wanted to write about. That, and I think purgatory. But when she was writing this book, a friend of hers told her, this sounds like abductions. Like this, what you're describing sounds like abductions.